In this video, we'll look into separable verbs with a focus on the verb-object structure. Let's take a look at the examples first. Explanations will follow later. 我想吃饭。我吃了饭。我吃了一顿饭。我吃了一顿很好吃的饭。我吃了一顿奶奶做的饭。他在看书。他在看一本书。他在看一本英文书。他在看一本很有意思的书。他看了1个小时的书。他会跳舞。他会跳什么舞？他会跳芭蕾舞。他跳了1个小时的芭蕾舞。他跳完舞了。他以前跳过芭蕾舞。Many two-syllable verbs in Mandarin Chinese can be used alone as a verb, but they are also separable in certain situations and can be extended into verb phrases. There are different types of separable verbs. In this video, we'll focus on the most common one, the verb-object compounds. Not all verb-object compounds are extendable to the same degree, but they generally can be extended to the following grammatical constructions, which are insertion, pre-repetition, post-repetition, topicalization, and reduplication. In this video, we'll only look into the first type, insertion. The key to the usage of verb-object compounds is to know that when separated, the verb part functions as an actual verb, and the object part functions as an actual object. Thus, you can place aspect particles such as 了,这,过, or complements such as 完 or 到 immediately after the verb part of this compound. You can also place attributes immediately before the object part. So attributes such as nouns, measure words, adjectives, or a combination of these followed by the particle 的 comes immediately before the object part to modify it. Remember, modifiers usually come before what they modify. Let's take a look at an example. In the sentence, 我想吃饭. 吃饭, which means to eat, is used alone as a verb. But very often, you'll also see it separated and extended into verb phrases. If you want to express that you have completed eating, you can add the aspect particle 了 right after the verb part 吃 and say 我吃了饭. If you want to use the measure word 一顿 to modify the object, you may place it right before the object and say 一顿饭. 我吃了一顿饭. You may also place attributive clauses before the object. For example, if you want to say, I ate a very delicious meal, you can add 很好吃的 before 饭 and say, 我吃了一顿很好吃的饭. Here, the attributive clause 很好吃的 is a descriptive modifier for the object 饭. What kind of 饭? 很好吃的饭. If this meal is made by your grandma, the attributive clause 奶奶做的 can also be added before the object 饭. Here, 奶奶做的 modifies the object 饭. What kind of 饭? 奶奶做的饭. 我吃了一顿奶奶做的饭. Regarding the VO structure verbs, it is a common mistake for beginners to add an object after it. But remember, you cannot do so because verb-object compounds already contain an object. For example, in the sentence 我想吃饭, 吃饭, which means to eat, cannot be followed by an object like 面包. It would be wrong to say 我想吃饭面包. Because 饭 in 吃饭 already functions as an actual object, you may not add another object 面包. However, you may replace the object part 饭 with 面包 and say 我想吃面包. Let's take a look at another example. In the sentence 他在看书, 看书, which means to read, is used alone as a verb. But you can also add a measure word 一本 before the object part 书 and say 他在看一本书. You may also add nouns such as 英文 as an attribute and say 他在看一本英文书. If you want to say that he's reading an interesting book, you may add 很有意思 followed by the before 书 and say 他在看一本很有意思的书. Here the attributive clause 很有意思的 comes before the object part 书 to modify it. If you want to say he read a book for an hour, you may add le and 一个小时 in between the verb and the object part. 他看了一个小时的书. In this case, the particle le comes after 看 to indicate the action is completed, and the duration 一个小时 followed by the comes before 书 to modify the object part. In the final example, 他会跳舞. 跳舞 can be used alone as a verb to mean to dance, but you may also insert a question word 什么 right before the object part and ask a question. 他会跳什么舞? And you can also answer this question by placing a noun 芭蕾 before the object part 舞 as a modifier. 她会跳芭蕾舞. If you want to say she danced ballet for an hour, you can place the particle le and the duration 一个小时 followed by the in between 跳 and 舞 and say 她跳了一个小时的芭蕾舞. If she finished dancing, you may add the complement 完 after the verb part 跳 and say 她跳完舞了. Note that le here does not indicate a completed action since it does not immediately follow an action verb. In this case, le comes at the end of the sentence to indicate a new information. I linked the video below for more on le ending a sentence. Now, if you want to express the fact that she did ballet dancing in the past, you may add the particle 过 after the verb part 跳 and say 她以前跳过芭蕾舞. It indicates that she did ballet dancing in the past, but no longer does it anymore. For more examples on the particle 过, you may also check out the link below. As you can see, all these verb particles, verb complements, and the attributes of the objects are placed either right after the verb part or right before the object part of these VO compounds. So you may also think of this as first separating the VO compounds and then inserting these additional elements in between them. Sometimes it's not very intuitive to identify VO compounds from general verbs. So when you learn a new verb, it may be a good idea to check whether it's a VO compound or an inseparable general verb. To reinforce these concepts, I'll make vocabulary videos in the future on verb-object compounds. The novelty and complexity of this kind of separation is difficult for Mandarin language learners in the beginning. But don't lose heart. With a lot of exposure to the language and practice, you will become proficient in using it. Now, how about we do some practice? Rearrange the following words to say, I swim 3 times every week. You can pause the video and think about it first. Yes, the answer is 我每周游3次泳. Rearrange the following words to say, I want to sleep a little while. Again, you can pause the video and think about it first. Yes, the answer is 我想睡一会儿觉. Rearrange the following words to say, I ran for an hour today. Again, you can pause the video and think about it first. Yes, the answer is 今天我跑了1个小时的步. These are more challenging, but see if you can answer these following questions based on your own situation. You can leave them in the comment section below. Try as many as you can, but no need to answer all of them. 你每天睡多长时间的觉？你喜欢看什么书？你跳过芭蕾舞吗？你喜欢吃咖喱饭吗？你今年生过病吗？ Okay, this is a summary. You can take a screenshot and crop it out for your future reference. Thanks for watching.